Welcome to the Sneaking Into the Movies podcast. I'm Max Nathan.
And I'm Norman Davis. And this week, we have 5 big takeaways from this summer at the movies.
Sneak in with us, and let's go.
1, 2, 1, 2, 3.
All right, Max, before we get into our big 5 takeaways, we have something special we need to start off with here. We have a special viewer question from our Instagram comments. This is from one Elliot Toyle, good buddy of mine, longtime listener and supporter.
Hell yeah. Shout out Elliot.
His question for us, shout out Elliot, was if you had one movie you could pick to take to a deserted island, what would it be and why?
You want me to go first?
You go first, yeah.
All right. So I thought about this for a little bit, and I always came back to my favorite movie of all time, which is Uncut Gems. On an island, you're going to be bored. There's not going to be a lot going on. You're not going to have your cell phone. You're not going to have your TikTok. You're not going to have any of that stuff. You're going to be alone on an island. So what you want is a movie that's going to convince you that maybe there's a little bit more going on than there actually is. And that movie is, they could have called it Panic Attack. It is just there's a lot going on in that movie. You got Adam Sandler, you got The Weeknd, you got Lakeith Stanfield, you got Kevin Garnett. It's all the stuff I love. You got basketball, you've got Sandler. It's fan-freaking-tastic, and that is why that is my favorite movie of all time, and also what I would pick to bring on the desert island. Norman,
that's a great pick. Uncut Gems is one of my favorites as well. I think I would go crazy if I had to watch that movie every day. But yeah. I get it, because I low-key could watch that movie every day.
Yep.
I also thought about this for a while. Obviously, I wanted entertainment. One thing I really focus on with those, I need a long movie.
Okay.
Because sometimes I can, split it up. And no matter what I thought of, it always came back to Avatar 2, The Way of Water. One of my favorite movies. I think that's one of the best blockbusters ever made.
Yep.
Other than like Baby Fury Road, at least this century. It's Avatar 2 for me.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, it's long. It's almost 3 hours and 20 minutes.
Yep.
That's a good chunk of my day.
Yep.
And it's long enough to where there's so much happening in the movie. Like, I could just put it on for an hour, you know what I mean? And go chill with PyCon for an hour.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Do what I got to do. But yeah, I just think, keep me from going too crazy. It's a great movie. I watch that movie all the damn time.
Yeah.
Anyways, and I think it'd be a good movie to have on my deserted island. So there you go, Elliot. Any of you other listeners want to send us a question in, feel free on Instagram or whatever you find us, and we will answer it next week.
We will do that. Norman, the summer, It's over, basically. I've declared it over just now. It's over.
Yeah, school's starting up for everyone again. It's back to business for all of us, including the movies.
Truly.
So we're about to go into a dry period. Bear with Max and I as we come up with some crazy ideas, because there's nothing coming out for like a month and a half that I'm glad I really want to see.
Yeah, the first couple of weeks of September in particular are going to be pretty bleak, but we're going to have stuff for you. But that's not what we're talking about today. Today, we're talking about the summer, because we now have the entire picture. Superman came out. He dazzled us all. We saw the Fantastic Four. We saw weapons. We saw it all.
No one saw Megan.
No one saw Megan. Not even me, even after I talked it up a ton. Yeah, I didn't put my money where my mouth was on that one. Yeah, sorry. Sorry, Megan. But yeah, no. Today, we're going to be talking about our 5 takeaways from this summer, and let's just get into it right now. So, take number 1, Norman. I think this summer demonstrated that the live-action remake is, in fact, a worthwhile creative investment. And I am exclusively talking about How to Train Your Dragon here. I saw that movie begrudgingly. I did not want to see it because I, like you before the movie, was very annoyed by the movie's existence. I thought this is just a total waste of time because all live-action remakes to that point had been, in my opinion, a true and utter waste of time.
There's some bangers, I will say.
What are you classifying as a banger right now? I gotta know. I'm really curious.
Best live action movie, or not live action movie, best live action remake of an animated movie. I haven't even seen the original, but I think The Jungle Book from 2016 is a phenomenal movie. I love that movie.
I agree. I think you're right about that. You got it. Is that where the list ends for you?
I remember liking Cinderella, but I don't think I've seen it in 10 years. But it's got Kenneth Branagh and a great cast.
It's a deep cut. Honestly, I've never seen. I don't even know if I've met anybody that saw that.
Dude, I saw that. I mean, I was like a kid, and I saw it with my cousins. I saw it in IMAX. It's like one of the first movies I really remember seeing in IMAX.
Huh. Did that movie make like a sneaky billion? Like, is that?
I don't think it's sneaky billion, but it probably made a lot of money. I mean, I know like Alice in Wonderland made like, I'm gonna look this up, but it made a lot of money.
So I saw How to Train Your Dragon begrudgingly. I did not want to see it for all the reasons that we talked about before. I think that this, live action remake, initiative that Disney has kind of, been piloting the ship on to this point, and DreamWorks is jumping on the bandwagon with How to Train Your Dragon. I have thought that it does not yield anything good until How to Train Your Dragon, and I thought that How to Train Your Dragon was a great time at the movies. It is kind of just How to Train Your Dragon, and that is the secret sauce and why it's good. But those flying scenes and the way that they filmed them are really, really fun as a cinematic event and something that you can bring your entire family to during the summer. And while I'm not going to sit here and say it was the greatest thing I've ever seen or even great at all, I had a good time. And I think that this is fine. Like, we need to have movies where people can bring their entire families and be dazzled. And I thought that this movie did that. Norman is shaking his head. Norman, what are your thoughts?
There were a ton of family movies this summer.
Okay.
I don't know, because if you want to make that argument, why didn't you see Lilo and Stitch? Like, that's a great movie you can take the whole fam to. That movie made $1 billion, so obviously. But I mean, there's always movies for families. That movie, How to Train Your Dragon, destroyed Elio. Came out the same weekend, an original kids movie. I heard it wasn't great, but I
saw it. It was okay.
You saw Elio?
I did. Yeah.
Wow. But like when it came out, or like recently?
No. Like, it was like it was probably like 3 weeks ago. So well after the release, but yeah.
I mean, granted, I didn't see it either, but I also don't really care about kids. Like, I'll watch it on Disney Plus. I almost saw it. I was doing a double feature, Brokeback Mountain, and then you joined me for 28 years later. Yep. But we were gonna sneak Elio in the middle, but I couldn't do it. Yeah. But yeah, no, I hate these live action movies so much. The last one I saw, I think, was The Lion King.
Okay, I did not watch that. So maybe my endurance, maybe I'm more open to these because I don't have the miles under my belt that you do with these movies. I haven't gone through the trenches of The Lion King 2019. You have.
Yeah, I haven't seen a ton of them. Like, I saw Cinderella, I saw Alice in Wonderland, Maleficent, The Jungle Book, and then I saw The Lion King. Yeah, The Lion King was just dog ass.
Yeah, it looked like it.
Does the Rescue Rangers movie count? Did you ever watch that?
The Chip and Dale movie?
Yes.
No. Because that's not...
It doesn't count, or you didn't watch it?
That doesn't count, because it's not... I did watch it. That's the Tim Robinson Ugly Sonic situation was very important to me. So,
the stinky cheese?
That's
one of my favorite jokes of movies in the last...
Yep.
With the cops. So,
that was really good. That's, classic Keegan-Michael Key right there. He's really good in Wonka, too. That's besides the point. Yeah. You didn't watch Wonka either.
I blame it on Bree because she wouldn't watch it with me.
Okay.
Like, I didn't really want to go see it by myself. And then, yeah, I just never... I will at some point. Like, I fuck with Division Heavy on that one. I like Timmy. I like Willy Wonka.
Yeah.
I'll get around to it at some point. But yeah, back to this live action nonsense. Yeah,
Yep.
I don't think it's a worthwhile creative investment at all. I'm not saying they can't be good. This How to Train Your Dragon, it probably was honestly not too bad. I like those original movies. I'm not watching that movie with a 50-yard pole, but
Yep.
no, I think they're awful. I think they're evil. Specifically, How to Train Your Dragon, I heard was like beat for beat the same thing.
Pretty much. There's a really cool match cut in this one. That was the only difference that I perceived. And also just the live action of it all, like I said, really did bring out the spectacle during the flight sequences. And I don't think that's nothing.
Yeah, I think it's a worthwhile investment. I don't think it's a worthwhile creative investment, though.
It is most certainly a worthwhile financial investment.
Yes.
Just ask the people over at Disney who made Lilo and Stitch this summer. That movie.
How to Train Your Dragon also is like particularly bugs me because that is literally a theme park. Like that movie was a tie-in for the How to Train Your Dragon world opening.
Yes.
And
And
so that one was like everything about that one like pissed me off extra than those Disney ones because at least those Disney ones they try to do new stuff from what I hear, but I mean usually it's stuff people don't like, but at least they're trying to make it more family friendly. I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean everyone was like talking smack about Lilo and Stitch. Obviously that movie made $1 billion because it's for kids. Twitter's not a real place.
Yes.
But I think the best thing to do is make you want to watch the old ones. So like I watched the original Lilo and Stitch like all the way through for the first time. I think maybe I did when I was little, but I didn't really remember parts of it.
Yeah.
I was like, that bangs, and then I was hearing about the new one and all the new things in it. And I was like, that's lame.
Yeah.
That movie has a little grit to it for a kids movie.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I hate these live action movies. I can't wait for them to just go away forever. We're getting Moana next year, which is going to be like atrocious.
Yep.
I don't know. Even when I'm like, I kind of want to see it, I just don't. Like, I can't put money towards that. I can't even put like if I had a list, I wouldn't be going to see those.
Yeah, like I said, it was tough to get me into the theater for How to Train Your Dragon, but I'm not mad that I went, like I said. But, yeah, no, and I think that, while I'm saying that, this summer proved that the live-action remake is a worthwhile creative investment, it's this How to Train Your Dragon situation seems more like an isolated incident than a trend going forward. Because How to Train Your Dragon, the live action, is created by the original people who worked on the animated movies. So there's obviously an inherent care and passion for these movies that is there that isn't really the point on those Disney movies. Like, those Disney movies are more...
But they hire some real...
seems very transparently like we are trying to make a buck on this. This is the most shameless thing ever.
Dude, you're just saying this because you liked it. That's the thing.
I
Like,
know,
I didn't see it because, like, Lilo and Stitch, that had the director of, like, Marcel Duchamp. Snow White had Mark Webb, who's not a bad director. Like I said, Kenneth Branagh, Jon Favreau back in the day. David Lowery does a bunch of them.
Pete's Dragon.
I think Craig Gillespie did Cruella, which I thought that was the last one I watched, and I actually liked that. But yeah, I know. I like live action. The How to Train Your Dragon is just like the same thing for me, at least. I don't know. Like I with every single movie, literally ever, even like The Room, which is like there's someone who really is trying to make the best thing possible, and like most big movies are made for money. You know what I mean? Like even in the Quantumania, which is like one of the most dog ass movies I'd seen, like Peyton Reed was really trying. Like he really thought like this was the one. It wasn't, but you know what I mean? So I don't know. Does that make it worthwhile that there was like a director who was passionate about it, even though it was dog shit made purely to make money? That's the question, I guess.
I definitely see where you're coming from, and you might hate what comes next, but can I name you a few properties that I think could get the How to Train Your Dragon treatment and be okay to maybe pretty good live action adaptations?
Yes, but I'm also under the impression like most of them are okay to pretty good. I think every once in a while you get like Snow White, which looks abysmal, but that's because like Gal Gadot's in it, or like you get Mulan, which looked terrible and which like made
But that's like
in the most evil
you
part
just
of China.
named like every single movie that came out in the last couple years.
I guess.
It's like I don't know. I think this How to Train Your Dragon thing, even I thought that looked abysmal before I saw it, and I was like, when I saw it, I was like, pretty good. But yeah, no, Mulan and like Lilo and Stitch, even like we're not like.
I imagine.
I'm not
Here's
touching
my
that with
hot
a 10
take.
foot
I imagine
pole.
they're just as good. Maybe not Mulan, but like Lilo and Stitch was probably just as good as How to Train Your Dragon. I haven't seen either of them, so I'm kind of talking out of my ass. But from an outside perspective, on someone who didn't get dragged to see any of them, I don't know. Like I don't know.
I see what you're saying, because I'm not even gonna sit here and say like these are the greatest movies ever. I'm saying
I know.
they're like not the death of movies is what I'm saying, is what I'm arguing here basically. But
I would
here,
disagree there.
I think maybe
There's
maybe they are the
death.
death.
Like
There's a tinge of the death of movies there. I agree with that, but I think we're going in a somewhat positive direction with the dragons here.
why don't we just?
I'm
Get
gonna
him,
stay
though, 'cause,
there.
Like,
I'm gonna stay there for now.
but didn't the dragon guy like he did like the originally? He's done a bunch of. Why don't we
did.
just give him money to make a new original something or like another book like How to Train Your Dragon was?
I agree with you. I see what you're saying. And also, I mean, isn't Chris Sanders a part of the creative team as well for How to Train Your Dragon? I believe he is. And he just had The Wild Robot last year, which did excellent. And that's an original.
Yeah.
I mean, it's based on IP. It's based on a children's book. But still, that was an original animated movie that did extremely well at the box office and did extremely well
Yeah,
at
I heard it was fantastic.
Yeah, it was nominated for awards. It was, and it was good. So yeah, here are my 4 properties that I'm going to give you that I think could get the live
K-pop
action.
Demon Hunters.
Oh,
that one of them?
dude, no. But
That's happening though. I don't know if
I think-
that's like already in the works.
I didn't know that live action K-pop Demon Hunters was in the works. But I actually don't love that. But that'll that can be part of our other discussion.
We'll get to K-pop Demon Hunters.
Okay, first up, Monsters vs. Aliens. That is the film involving Ginormica and
I
her
know.
place-
You don't gotta tell me about monsters. What
I'm
Dr.
telling-
Cockroach,
this is
bro?
More
Oh.
for the viewers.
Okay,
This is
I thought-
Dr. Cockroach, The Missing Link,
Bob.
Bob, of course. From
Bob's all over. I know you're not
TikTok.
on Twitter.
Yeah.
Oh, I guess you're on TikTok.
Yeah.
That dude. Every other GIF I see now is Bob, and I'm just like, that's
what
cool. I love the video with the slop with the carrots. Have you seen that one?
Yes, it's honestly become like a pretty iconic movie to this point, and I think that it is the kind of movie that could translate well to live action. Like you have these, there's a big showdown in an alien spaceship at the end. There's kaijus. There's giant robots. There's weird Stephen Colbert president guy. Like that could be fun. Like there's Ginormica. Like it's fun stuff that I think. I'm not advocating that this should be a live action movie, but I'm saying if I've got to play, devil's advocate here and say, if these movies are getting made, I guess this is the one that I would pick. Monsters vs. Aliens would be one of them. What do you think, Norman?
Sure.
No, you hate it. You hate all of it.
I mean, I hate all of it because I'm like, I could just say like Toy Story. That would make, they're toys. That would make sense.
Oh,
But then yeah, exactly. Cars, they're cars. Like that would be a home run, and that would make $1 trillion. This one, yeah, watch this, Incredibles. Make the Incredibles
Well, they
again.
just made Fantastic Four and that flopped, so maybe they're stupid enough to be like, "Oh, Incredible doesn't work now," because that's how they think.
Yeah. How long do they touch those Pixar movies? Not to get on a tangent. Clearly, some.
I don't even
There's no
want
way
to
that.
think about that.
Yeah, we're getting there though. Like
We're maybe that's gonna be a dark day, man. My next movie is kind of like in the category of, like what if we touched the Pixar live actions? And my next pick is Shrek. I think that at Shrek's core, it's a spoof movie, and it's spoofing fairy tales and like animated movies to that point, and movies to that point in general. Like it's kind of a spoof movie. And I think that you could make a compelling live action Shrek where it kind of spoofs this trend of live action remake movies by doing a live action remake Shrek movie. Norman, kill me.
I'm just staying quiet, man. I'm not trying to run on your parade here.
Okay.
Like, they're all good ideas, but like,
Yeah.
in a hypothetical, I feel like every animated, like, why don't they just do Spirited Away?
I mean, because it's a horse. Doesn't the horse talk in that movie?
I'm talking about Spirited Away.
Oh
Not-
shit! No. Oh,
yeah.
I'm talking. I was thinking about
Talking about
Spirit,
Spirit.
the horse.
You know what they should do, bro? This is mine. Sorry, I know you got a list.
Yeah,
here.
yeah.
Prince
Go
of
for it.
Egypt. That's not on your list, is it?
That is not on my list, but that is a good. I think, like, yeah, if you went with stuff that's primarily humans, like, obviously, I think that could, in theory, translate to live action pretty well. But yeah, no, I haven't.
But that'd be like
Yeah.
Angel Studios now. So I hope we never like if they ever made a movie about Moses and all of that
Yeah,
fun stuff.
yeah. That would be rough. My next movie is Meet the Robinsons, the movie about the time traveling kid.
About the
you got
bowler hat guy.
the bowler hat guy.
I
of
might.
course.
I'm home right now, and I got some. I might have that DVD still.
I remember I had a Meet the Robinsons T-shirt in kindergarten. It was red, and it had the dinosaur on it, and it had, was his name Elliot? Is the main character's name Elliot in Meet the Robinsons?
I don't know, but I used to love that movie.
It's so cool. It's honestly,
It's so cool. I haven't
it's
seen it.
extremely underrated. Yeah, you got T-Rexes, you've got time travel, you've got this weird futuristic family, you've got an Adam West superhero in that movie who delivers pizzas. It has talking frogs, a bowler hat guy. It's got everything. And I think that, it could be a pretty fun live action movie as well.
Monsters Inc. Yeah, I'm gonna do one of these
like-
every time you say yours.
I'm actually going to vomit. This next one is one that I'm actually shocked isn't already in development because it seems a little obvious, and that would be Big Hero 6. What do you think?
I'm just surprised they've done nothing since that first movie.
I agree. Did it flop horrendously?
I don't think it did as well as like. I mean, it came out around like Frozen and all of that.
Yeah.
And like Moana and like Zootopia all made like almost $1 billion.
Yeah,
I love Baymax though. Everyone loves Baymax.
I agree. It's a great Fortnite skin as well.
He's a great Fortnite skin. Maybe that's a tease for what's to come. Hopefully not.
You want to move on to the next take, or you got any more live action remakes for me?
Movies that ruined for you. Let me think.
Yeah.
Of good. Ratatouille. Just get rats, bro.
Just get rats. Yeah.
Just AI patting Oswald's face onto a rat.
Yeah, that looked great.
And
AI
I'll see you at the
deepfake.
box office.
We gotta add AI deep fakes to these live action remakes. That's what we gotta do. We gotta deep fake. Yeah, Patton Oswalt onto a blue rat. It'd be great.
Wall-E.
I guess you could very easily, do. It's like kind of like the.
You couldn't do the fat people.
I guess you couldn't. That would be pretty grotesque, honestly. That would be pretty rough.
Well, it's like either they're gonna just animate people to be like comically obese, like have actual very very heavy people.
It'll be.
It's a lose. Or you like don't want to piss people off, so you get like chubby people, and then you're like, where the fatties at? And I don't think you could do Wall-E.
I don't think you
I hope
could
they-
either.
That's my favorite animated movie, so I hope they don't.
I agree. I think Wall-E's fantastic. I got it sitting right beside me, the Criterion Collection version.
You see those new Criterions?
I did see the new Criterions. Is there anything you're picking up?
One of my favorite movies ever, the best Christmas movie ever made, Stanley Kubrick's Eyes Wide Shut.
I didn't know
That
you
is-
liked that movie that much.
The first time I watched that movie, I watched it 2 days in a row.
Damn.
It just blew me away. And then me and Preston, we watched it like a day before Christmas.
I gotta tap in on all the Kubrick stuff. I
Might
have
be my
not-
favorite of his. But yeah, you want to get on the next take? I'm tired of talking about these.
Yeah, I'm
live-action
tired. Let's get rid of
movies.
these live action remakes. Actually, I rescind everything. Fuck those movies. But I liked How to Train Your Dragon. Sorry. So the next takeaway, I should say, from our list here. is that you can create cinematic events at home. Now, prior to a movie that came out this summer, I was under the impression that in order to create a movement out of a movie, create something that is truly a cultural phenomenon, it has to play in the movie theater. Because, one, movie theaters elevate the movie. That's number one. From the quality of the picture and sound on the technical level to a legitimacy.
There's real movies and there's fake movies. I'm just kidding.
Yes, there.
Low key, but I know.
I know what you mean. So yeah, I had thought that look, what Netflix is doing is cool, but it's never gonna be a competitor to the movie theater per se. I think what Netflix does is in its own category that's more similar to television. And that's a take in itself.
Their shows blow up. I mean, you got Squid Game, you got Stranger Things, Tiger King. That was no one would shut up about that. We were all at home, but
I'm not disagreeing with that. I think what they do is effective, and a lot of it is good stuff. I like Stranger Things. I like other Netflix stuff. I like this movie that we're about to talk about. But yes, so Netflix came out with K-pop Demon Hunters this summer. And K-pop Demon Hunters might be the movie of the summer if we're going to boil it all down. And I think you might disagree with me, but I'm going to say...
Are you talking about cultural impact or
Cultural impact. I'm talking about cultural impact and views.
Oh, okay. I thought you were about to say quality. And I was like, we're going to have a problem.
I don't know. I loved the movie, but I think, I'm not necessarily saying, I mean, that's subjective. So everybody's going to have a different opinion on that. But I think in terms of...
thought it was fine. I thought it was pretty cool, but it didn't grab me the way it grabbed you, and it seems like a lot of people. I watched it because my friend Elliot, who we just talked about with this awesome question, watched it 6 times and kept telling me to watch it, so I did. I thought it was pretty cool. It was solid.
That's real shit. 6 times. I would...
I'm not seeing what you're saying at all, but I did enjoy it.
Yeah.
I am going to put you on blast. You did put it over Sinners on your ranking, which we need to cancel Max for being racist.
Sorry, guys. It's
better than Sinners, bro.
It's a tough scene. I put it...
The Sinners guy, man.
I love Sinners. What can I say? I do, but I don't know. There's something about these K-pop Demon Hunters, man. Something about them.
I wish I felt this way. I don't know. I watched it and I was just like, I mean, this is it's neat I don't know. It didn't. Nothing about it blew me away at all. I thought the songs were kind of catchy. The animation was cool, but I don't think it's every other animated movie looks really cool now. It's because of Spider-Verse, but you get stuff like Puss in Boots, you get stuff like Ninja Turtles. That movie Goat looks kind of cool. I don't even like Steph Curry, and he's not the Goat, but he's got that one movie that looks cool.
Yeah, I think. What you're saying, I put it on that level in terms of not just complexity and creativity of the animation style, but the quality of the film. I put it on the same level as the Spider-Verse movies and Ninja Turtles. You might just end the podcast right now.
I'm trying to think of where I think I'm trying to put it where give you a reference point for what I'd put it. I don't know. I don't know. I just thought it was fine. I just think it's crazy. Yeah. It blew you away this much. I'm not dissing you or nothing. That's cool. I wish every movie blew me away.
Yeah.
But I found it pretty run of the mill for something everyone is talking about, and those songs are going crazy.
It is not. It is not complex at all. It is very similar to a lot of stories I had seen before, but I think that the spin on it with I just loved the characters being K-pop stars, the music,
it was cool.
The animation style. It's like Turning Red meets Blade. It's how am I not gonna just absolutely adore this?
That's fair. That's fair.
So, yeah. So getting back to, the actual takeaway being you can create cinematic event, like legitimate cinematic events at home. The argument for this is the social media presence that K-pop Demon Hunters has. People are talking about it on social media. That's number one. It is currently number 2 on Netflix's most popular film list of all time, behind Red Notice with 230.9 million views. Red Notice has. K-pop Demon Hunters is currently sitting at 184.6 million views. Now, I know this is like...
How many TVs in your house do you have playing Red Notice right now? Because I always have 3 playing it on loop, bro.
Yeah. I got it on the laptop over here every time we podcast. It's just straight Red Notice here. I'm getting all the Red Notices on this screen right here.
I only pay for Netflix just to run it over and over and over again.
Me too.
Because it's the most. It's been watched by 8 trillion people across 400 trillion years worth of time.
It's true.
Definitely not money laundering, but
no,
continue.
not at all.
K-pop
These views, we should state, they're coming from Netflix. That could mean they're legit, or it might mean they're not. We don't know. We cannot verify that information. But this is what we got. So Red Notice currently sitting at 230.9 million views. I think that's in its, in its opening release window. There's like release windows that they do these in. And then K-pop Demon Hunters has 184.6 million views. I know this is a little sacrilege. Like, you can't really one-to-one this. But like, let's say, let's try to equate this to movie tickets.
I can't do it because I'm going to say with these views, Netflix lies out of their ass.
Yes,
because
allegedly, you gotta allege that. We can't be on here.
They very, very allegedly have been lying in their ass about numbers. They never put out numbers unless it's like the biggest thing ever. And yeah, it's like 8 quadrillion people. The Electric State's the only movie that's ever been bad for Netflix, and Rebel Moon. But I don't know. The thing with like that is like, what are numbers? Are numbers someone watching it start to finish? Because when I see a movie makes $80 million at the box office, I'm going to assume someone went and saw pretty much all that movie. Mm-hmm. Is 180 whatever million, is that clicks? Is that a child watching the first 5 minutes before turning it off and going to play Fortnite?
I would imagine that counts. I imagine they're counting every view above like 30 seconds or something.
Yeah, it's like YouTube. That's kind of why I think these Netflix. I'm not denying that this K-pop Demon Hunters is huge. You sent me on Apple Music like the global charts, like 3 are the songs are K-pop, which is
it's the first. What's really ridiculous, I thought, is it is the first K-pop song to go number 1 on the Billboard Hot 100. That seemed crazy to me.
I think it's like probably the second animated or song from like an animated movie ever. Because I'm pretty sure Encanto was the first one.
What about We Don't Talk About Bruno?
The We Don't Talk About Bruno song.
Yeah, and the song that's at the top of the charts on the Billboard Hot 100, I believe, is Golden. So there you go. There's that little piece of information for you. But yeah, just to give people a perspective of how much 184.6 million views is. And like Norman said, you can't really say like all of these people were like watching the movie start to finish. We truly don't know that. But let's say they did. Because there's also a situation where you pop on Netflix and you have 4 people in the room and maybe 4 people watch it. I'm not saying like, this is a wash at some point. I don't know that. But let's say it is. Let's just take 184.6 million views, and let's say a movie ticket is $10. It's not. It's more expensive than that. But let's just say $10 just to do that. That's over $1 billion worth of views. Now, again, that is not math that is endorsed. The thing that makes K-pop Demon Hunters a little different from other Netflix smash hit offerings is that this movie is doing so well that they have decided to put it in theaters for a limited engagement for one weekend on the 23rd and the 24th. and it's for a sing-along event. So there's a couple ways to look at this.
Are you going?
I might.
Are you gonna sing along?
I might pay for a ticket, and who knows? Who knows what's gonna happen? I don't know. I might chime in. Might chime in a couple times. You never know. You never know. It's a sing-along event. Is it worse to go and not sing along? Are you disturbing the peace? What do you think? Just a quick aside on that.
I don't know. I feel like
If you go to a sing-along event, do you have to sing? Is that like going to like a dance and just like sitting on the side?
I guess the question is, do you want to be singing along with a bunch of 12-year-old girls or sitting in there quietly while a bunch of 12-year-old girls sing really loud?
You bring up a good point, and a point I don't know how to answer. So we're just gonna move on.
We move on. Yeah.
So the theater thing. Netflix does not do this. They notoriously leave money on the table by putting movies like Glass Onion, A Knives Out Story in theaters for just 1 week in like Idaho and Wyoming. They do very, very limited engagements and leave a lot of money on the table. I remember specifically for Glass Onion, there was articles being, put up by the Hollywood Reporter Deadline about how much money they were leaving on the table by not...
You saw that in theaters, right? Glass Onion?
I did see that in theaters.
Dude, full fucking house. Like, such a good time.
Yep.
I would have probably not really... People don't really like that movie. And I think a lot of it has to do with most people saw it on Netflix. Like, I think...
Yeah.
I mean, you can argue which one's better. But I think, like, everyone saw it. Not everyone, but a fuck ton of people saw Knives Out in theaters. And very few people got the chance to see Glass Onion. And I think if I had went from seeing Knives Out in theaters back in 2019, and just watched Glass Onion at home, I probably wouldn't like it much either. But I think seeing it in theater for the first time and getting to react with the crowd and laugh and all that awesome Brian Johnson goodness was really cool. And I can't imagine watching that at home.
I totally agree with you. And I think that gets to our, point here about, the debate over whether you can or cannot create cinematic events at home. Now, I said that you can create cinematic events at home because this movie is a smash hit. It is a smash hit in a way that Red Notice is not. Like, yes, Red Notice has 230 billion viewers or whatever the hell it has. Does or doesn't have, I should say. This movie is really good. It's being reviewed really well. People have clearly seen it. It is in the public consciousness. It is different from other Netflix smash hits. And it's not, it's not Don't Look Up, where maybe it gets talked about for a couple of days and gets thrown away. Maybe it gets nominated for a couple of Oscars and whatever, we throw it out. Why?
It's a movie for kids.
Okay. I think it is family fare. Yes. I think you're right about that. It is something but that's what the summer's all about. The summer's all about bringing the entire family to an experience that you can all enjoy together.
But I think I like Superman is a movie that kids can watch. Same with like Fantastic Four, Jurassic Park. Yeah. But like, they're not like made for kids in the same thing like K-pop Demon Hunter is, which is why I think like there is all these people are watching it, all these people are streaming it, but you're not like really seeing it, I guess, just because it's not really like when something like Squid Games comes out and does huge, like it's because it's made kind of for people our age, I guess. So I don't know. I think that makes sense. What I'm saying.
It is made for kids, yes, and it does have a lot of viewers, but I don't think that because you wouldn't see. I don't think the social media chatter, the widespread social media chatter, would come unless it was being experienced by older people as well. I know there's lots of kids on the internet now. I know we're in a different era. But
I think like I'm not really seeing that, and it might just be because of my bubble. Like I said, if you just looked at my Twitter feed, you'd think Superman was the biggest movie ever because that's just where I'm at.
We had this conversation.
I don't think this is something that's really gonna that's like breaking out of the cultures. I think a lot of people are watching it and liking it, mainly kids. I don't think this is something that's like huge that like they're gonna joke about at the Oscars or like it's gonna be something for like years and years now. It's like K-pop Demon Hunters. Like I don't know, feels kind of like just Netflix is very all like fast fashion, fast foody to me, to where like something is like the biggest thing ever, and then like a couple weeks later, and maybe I'm wrong, maybe 2 months from now, everyone won't be shutting up about this movie, and it'll still be top in the charts. But I don't know. I think it's hard to say. Like this movie's a big deal, and it's doing very, very well, but I'm not really like seeing it in the same way I saw Stranger Things or Squid Games or Tiger King or Oppenheimer or Barbie, like movies that people still bring up going to see that, and like how big of a moment that was. And maybe I'm wrong, but I don't see that happening going forward.
See, I think here's where Netflix putting it in theaters is interesting, because you might be able to say like, there's one way to look at it, which is kind of what you brought up, which is, here's Netflix trying to capitalize just a bit more on K-pop Demon Hunters and say, bring in some money, maybe report that the sing-along thing went fantastic for Netflix, and they can, there's going to be articles in the Hollywood Reporter and whatnot. What I think is interesting is I think this is going to create some kind of a Minecraft situation where...
So, you go first.
Like, with Minecraft, a lot of the, buzz around that movie was the experience of going to the theater and being in an incredibly raucous environment that got... Stupid thing went out.
I think Minecraft was a bigger cinematic event, by the way, than K-pop Demon Hunters has been.
So, I agree with you. I agree with you there. What I'm getting at here is there was a huge selling point behind Minecraft that was go to the theater and this is going to happen. And that created more chatter on social media about it. I think that's what they're aiming for primarily, because I think coming out of that sing-along weekend, there's going to be so much video of people having fun in the theater, which I do not condone. Do not take your phone out in the movie theater. That is most certainly going to happen, and that is what they're trying to do here. I get that.
I kind of agree, but that's going to be like, in the grand scheme of things, like this isn't going to be, I don't think, a wide release from what I understand. Like you said, very limited. Like I feel like that is just like scratching a big niche they have right now, rather than like if they put it in theaters for like 2 weeks, or like when winter like comes around, it's winter break for kids, and they throw it back in theaters. Like I could be like, oh shit, okay, but this just feels like very like a novelty, not like there's such a big demand and the whole world is like begging for it. So
yeah,
I don't know. I don't really see, like, this is a big movie that's doing really well. Cool. It's an original, right?
Yes.
Animated movie. Great. More of that. But I don't know. I don't think I totally agree with the whole it being like a huge cinematic event. I think
we'll see. I think that, this is a step towards a future where Netflix can create these cinematic events at home. Kinda. I
just think with the way Netflix works, it's impossible. Like, it's just straight up impossible. Like, for people like you and I, like, we can go on Netflix and watch like the new Noah Baumbach movie on Netflix, and like, I don't know how to say it, it's not sounding pretentious, but like, just understand it's like a higher level than everything else on, you know what I kind of mean?
I do.
I don't know.
Yeah. I see what you're saying. I think that, we're just going to have to see like what happens.
I mean, we're just going to have to see, but from what we've seen so far and everything with Netflix in the past, I don't see it happening.
I would be happy to say, the movie theater is king and streaming is, not how people experience movies primarily, but I don't know if we're heading in that direction. I wish we were.
I don't think, but yeah, I just think like, even if theaters just completely die out, I don't think we're going to get those cinematic events anymore, just straight up. I just don't think it's going to have the same impact like watching it at home.
I agree.
How many people watch this on their phone? How many, like I said, kids were just watching on their iPad on the airplane, like kind of watching while doing whatever else. I don't know. It's just hard, like, with all those numbers and all those views, like we said, like, they're allegedly bullshit, but I don't really have any way, I guess. I would say over half of that were people who did not sit down and like attentively watch the movie. and like we're like, holy shit, this is incredible.
I agree with you, and it's because they're still, like we said, using the movie theater for legitimacy. Because the movie theater is still king.
Yeah.
Two things can be true at the same time. The movie theater is still king, and you can create a movie that launches on Netflix and have it be a cinematic event. It just might have to play in theaters, though, to get there at some point.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't think we're there yet. I don't think K-pop, as big as it is and as big as the songs and everything are, I don't see it.
Yeah.
I don't see it in the world in the same way. We're like, and like I said, it's like we're all in bubbles, and I'm not only talking about social media because obviously like that is literally programmed to be exactly what we want to see all the time.
Yes.
My phone would know if I liked K-pop Demon Hunters as much as you did.
Yes.
But I don't know. I don't know. It's a good. I like the idea though. Where like I don't love the idea, but like it is like we are kind of getting there. Like I see what you mean, but
yeah.
I think if there was like, if it wasn't, not that this on kids movies, I love kids movies, but if it wasn't a kids movie, I'd see a little more. Just because like all those numbers are so inflated when it comes to anything with kids. Like most of the biggest movies are always kids movies. You know what I mean? So,
that's. I mean, it's true of movies that come out in theaters, though.
Yeah. But would you say Lilo and Stitch was the cinematic event of the year because it's made the most money?
No.
Yeah, I don't know. That's how I feel about it. I feel like until I see it more in my real life, until you see Conan make a joke about it at the Oscars, then it's like that was like a moment in time. I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe it's because I didn't love it though. Like I said, like maybe if I loved it as much as you, like I would be hollering in the streets.
Yeah, and I will be hollering in the streets. So
Yeah.
that's K-pop Demon Hunters. I recommend.
I do too. I do too. But yeah.
Let's move on. So we are halfway through the decade. This is 2025. And we have, seen a lot of films over the last 5 years. And I think that we have our first truly decade-defining movie in the decade so far. And that would be Eddington. Ari Aster's Eddington. I think it perfectly captures the time that we're in and our addiction to screens. It captures May of 2020 when we were all obviously, locked down. COVID. I'm not going to explain it to you. You went through it. Yeah. And it also captures where we're going next with, the looming AI data center in the background and how, algorithms push people into darker and darker and darker places. And how the internet is accelerating our demise by disconnecting us from the world and creating paranoia between, individuals. Norman, I thought this movie was fantastic, and for all those reasons, I think it perfectly captures our time right now. And I think it is truly the decade-defining movie so far. What do you think?
Yeah, when you say decade defining, like you don't mean in film, you mean in like a movie about the world, right?
I mean, yes. I mean a movie that like we're gonna look back when the decade is over and we're gonna be like, what? Like maybe in 10, 20 years when kids ask like, what was the decade of 2020 to 2030 like? I think that this is what we're gonna point to. Unless something supplants it in the years to come. What do you think?
I'd agree. I don't think any movie has quite captured what it was like. That movie already feels like a time capsule, really. Obviously, we are still feeling the effects of everything, and everyone is fucking crazy now. And like that might just be permanent, low-key. It's been like 5 years, and people are getting weirder and weirder. But yeah, no, I honestly agree with you on that. That yeah. Like if you were like name a movie, to define the 2020s, it would be Eddington.
Yeah, and it really is. It is an interesting movie because it simultaneously captures the darkness of our time, but it is also one of the funniest movies maybe I've ever seen. And that humor is also really representative of the time we're in. It finds, you know, a lot of the humor that we get from like our cell phones and like meme culture and that kind of thing. And it also kind of, it pokes fun at the current social norms and social norms during the events of the COVID pandemic. It's all really intelligently captured in that movie. And I think that there is no better representation of that time in cinema. So that's why I think it's going to be the decade-defining movie.
Yeah. I only wish more people watched it.
I do too. I mean, that's the counter argument you can make is it's going to be the decade-defining movie for us and literally zero other people.
Yeah, I would say generally maybe if I just wanted to play devil's advocate and say you're wrong. I don't think you are. I totally agree with you, but probably like Oppenheimer or something.
Yeah,
but that's more in like the sense of like a big movie that's like, you get an Interstellar, but like Social Network. Social Network is actually pretty 2010s. Like it kind of falls in this category.
I mean, Oppenheimer as well, though. I think you can make the argument that even though it is a period piece, I think you can make the argument that it does represent a lot of where we are now. I mean, obviously it does. It's a great movie, but
yeah,
I think that maybe we will look back and say, Oppenheimer really captured, this feeling of, inevitability, I suppose, and a certain negative result that is inevitable that we're just hurtling towards, and what responsibility do you have as an individual within all of that? I think that's all interesting and kind of captures the time very well. The other movie that I was thinking of is Nope. I think that also captures our need for attention right now and desire for spectacle. I think you can see that everywhere. I think Nope is also, a perfect example of what we're talking about here, and could be, that might actually be the decade-defining movie because people saw that. It's not a huge. Yeah. Didn't it make like Nope is like a $400 million movie? No, at least 200.
Let me get a look. I know it made 200.
We gotta get the box office up. Yeah, you pull the box office up. I'm reaching too far.
171 million.
Okay, so that's not terrible, and more people are going to see it on streaming and stuff because that's how people watch movies and stuff. But yes, do you have any other examples for possible decade-defining movies? I think Eddington is my pick, but
of the 2020s.
Of the 2020s, maybe even Weapons as a maybe
Weapons. I was gonna say low key. And it's hard for us to see because we're not British, but 28 years later, I feel like that movie has so much commentary on like Brexit and stuff like that and just how good it is. So it's hard for me to say because I'm obviously American, but
yeah, it's going to mean something different to everybody, and that's good. It's good to bring up. I mean, 28 years later also, it's just, that's a good movie about, grief and loss, and that's also very prevalent post-COVID. And COVID is also, COVID is going to be the, hopefully nothing worse happens. You never know. I mean, it's not looking great out there. But
RFK Jr.,
yeah, hopefully nothing worse happens than that. Hopefully that is the decade-defining thing, COVID.
Yeah, we're only halfway there, man. There's still a lot of time on the clock.
There's a lot of time on the clock.
There's a lot of big red buttons and a lot of unhappy men at the center of them.
That's true. It's true. Scary Times. Eddington. Scary movie.
Great movie.
Good cinema.
Antifa wants to kill you.
Antifa wants to kill you.
They're watching your stupid, boring, pointless life, and you are the target. There's always someone coming after you.
Truly.
I think it's important to know.
Yeah, these these big, big men with their big red buttons, as you say, they think we're all stupid. You know who else thinks we're all stupid? Kevin Feige.
Okay, bro.
Yeah,
That was good.
that was a shit segue, but we're talking about Kevin Feige now. The next takeaway for the summer is Kevin Feige only ever had one cool idea.
They speed out. James Gunn needs to shut the fuck up, by the way.
Yeah. So, what I mean by Kevin Feige only ever had one cool idea is the Infinity Saga. I think his mission, since, the first Avengers movie was, what if I made a bunch of superhero movies where they're in different places and then they all came together to fight Thanos? I think that was his one cool idea. And he was going to do, it was his version of Infinity Gauntlet or whatever. That happened already. That's over. Where did he go after that? Nowhere interesting. I don't think, there have been minor successes here and there, for sure. No doubt. However, I don't think you can overstate the aimlessness of this entire phase of Marvel post-Endgame. And it's showing in the box office returns now. And it's also showing in the quality of the movies, I believe. And the shows, obviously. It feels like...
So let me ask you.
Yeah.
So is Thunderbolts Kevin Feige's idea?
Yes, no, I think that you can have hits.
Yeah, that's
you can
kind
have
of
hits here and there. And I did love Thunderbolts. I love Thunderbolts. And you loved Fantastic Four. And that's the only person who loves Fantastic Four on this podcast. But yeah.
I like Thunderbolts too, though. What was I about to say? Yeah, I kind of agree, but I don't think you're giving him enough credit, at all.
Okay. Give it to me. What do we got to give Kevin Feige credit for?
Well, I don't know.
Because I agree with you. I'm not playing down the Infinity Saga, because I think that was obviously a fantastic achievement that defined my youth, basically. So,
not to dig ride Kevin Feige. I never want to do that. That guy can really suck a lot. Even in the Infinity Saga, there's a lot of fucking garbage in those movies that I loved growing up, but I've gone back to them. I'm like, yeesh.
Yeah, I agree.
But I don't know. I don't think it's fair to say the Infinity Saga is just kind of one idea. You know what I mean?
No, it's a collection of happy accidents is what I would call it.
Yeah, I guess. And I guess they're just kind of shitting the bed. But I guess here's my thing. One, Disney mandated the fuck out of him to make so much stuff. I think that has to do with some of the aimlessness.
Obviously. Yep.
I think it's a big part of it, honestly. You can see parts of a plan that they just had to get more stuff in. And I think for the general audience, it was literally just too much coming out made them want to see nothing.
Yep.
You could easily not watch a single one of those shows and go see a movie. Maybe not understand it, but at least go see it. So I don't know. I kind of agree with you, but also I don't agree with you at all.
See, I see what you're saying. I agreed with everything that you're saying there. I think that, just like the Infinity Saga is not his entire accomplishment. That was a lot of different people.
Because wouldn't we still be on his one great idea of interconnected?
We are. I mean, technically speaking, I think we are. Yes, it's still around. It's still kicking, but it's dying. There's no question about it. I mean, Fantastic Four is a flop. It's not doing very well. Thunderbolts.
So was Thunderbolts.
Yeah, Thunderbolts was a flop.
I mean, so was Captain America.
Captain America was a flop as well, and Captain America was a fucking abysmal disaster movie. And part of the reason why I think that Thunderbolts didn't do very well and, Fantastic Four didn't do very well after that is I think people a general public might have been somewhat excited for that Captain America movie. I mean, it did okay.
It did better than Thunderbolts, and I think Fantastic Four maybe.
I
don't know. Fantastic Four might have.
I think it might have eclipsed it. I think they're both around 400 million right now.
But
so
this is the first year since The Dark Knight came out against Iron Man where DC won the year.
yep, that's kind of crazy. The DC's been in the
Which, yeah.
gutter, but yeah.
And you know what? Superman low-key underperformed. I wouldn't call the movie a flop by any means. I would say that was a success. But I'm sorry, as someone who loved that movie, that's my movie of the summer. That's my cultural cinematic event.
Yeah.
The fact that movie didn't make more than Man of Steel, not too great.
Sure. I think similar to Captain America, though, I think, like, you know, with Captain America, you had a rollover effect where, like, for Thunderbolts, I had to, you know, my girlfriend Natasha, I was like, come see Thunderbolts with me. It's like, it's actually good, I promise. It's going to be good this time. Yeah. And it was. And she liked it. She loved it, even. With the DC movies, there was just, like, 17 awful DC movies in a row. Yeah. So, Superman, you know, Man of Steel came off The Dark Knight and had Christopher Nolan attached as a producer. I think it's a very different place.
I think it depends on the character with Marvel and DC.
Elaborate on that.
I think that has become clear as day. I think if Thunderbolts was called Thunderbolts and Spider-Man, it was the exact same movie, just Spider-Man was there, it would have made $1 billion. I think anything with Batman makes so much money. I think just generally, Superman is a more interesting character than... Not interesting, but it's more, obviously, more recognizable. But yeah, I think it's just, at that point, it's like, people don't really care about the quality of superhero movies. They just want to see the superheroes. Like Thunderbolts, who the fuck are these guys? Fantastic Four, if you're not me or 80 years old, who the fuck are these guys? Superman is Superman. Everyone knows Superman. All of our parents grew up with like a definitive Superman.
Yep.
Still the best Superman movie for my money, low-key. Yeah. So, I don't know. Like
which
Spider-Man.
You're saying the new Superman is the best
No,
Superman
no,
movie?
the Donner one.
Oh, okay. The
I still
Superman
think
the movie.
that takes my cake.
1978.
But I think it's just, I don't like Spider-Man. Brand New Day is going to come out next year.
Yep.
That suit's looking real nice, I will say. That might be the nicest looking suit we've seen for one of these things. Doesn't matter how good or bad that movie is, it's going to make $1 trillion.
Yeah.
Which is kind of what I mean, that it depends on the characters at this point, kind of. But I mean, interest is down too, so I don't know. It's a mess. These superhero movies are on the way out.
I don't think that superhero movies on the way out, because I think that James Gunn is going to get the shit back on the
Absolutely
route.
not. I don't think Supergirl is going to do better than Superman, and Clayface is not going to do well at all. No one gives a fuck about Clayface. Like, it's not going to look good. Everything about, like, the script sounds kind of cool, but they're rewriting it. The director, it's a horror director.
It's James Watkins directed Speak No Evil. That movie was good.
James Watkins. Oh shoot! I gotta go see the Clayface movie without Batman in it. No, I just think we're gonna get the Avengers movies, and then we're gonna get X-Men, Spider-Man, maybe Fantastic Four, Batman, Superman. I feel like that's gonna be it for a while. We're going back to the 2000s essentially.
I think, you know, I think you're right.
Black Panther.
I think we are going towards. I think the big spectacle movies are going to have to be Spider-Man, Iron Man, maybe Captain America, Steve
Thunderbolts
Rogers.
should
Maybe
never
Steve
have
Rogers,
a budget.
Captain America. Yeah,
he's coming back.
Yeah,
he's gonna be in Avengers.
Probably it's gonna be real interesting to see what they do with the X-Men. But yeah, the
I think that's coming sooner than we think.
I agree. Yeah, they already hired Jake Schreier to do that, who's the director of Thunderbolts. I think that movie, we'll see how the cast goes, because I haven't been impressed with the rumors. It looks
it's going to be a bunch of young unknowns. That's my theory.
That doesn't sound like a winning strategy to me, at least on its face, on paper. What do you think of that as the X-Men guy?
I think this is probably the best way to do it.
Actually?
I mean, if you're going with, like, young people, I don't know famous young people, I guess. I don't know. But, like, who are famous people under the age of 25? I'll say under the age of 28 who'd want to sign their life away for 10 years. Because we hear these rumors, and then it's just people being like, no. And it's like, it's cool. It's like Margaret Qualley's Rogue. But then, like, she's like, I don't know if I really want to do that. And it's like, she's not going to lock herself down in, like, Marvel movies for 10 years. They're going to get unknowns. I think they did that with Fantastic Four. Not necessarily unknowns, but none of those people were that famous. Pedro Pascal was, but he was a TV guy. I think they're just going into the future, like, why do you need Charlize Theron for a post-credit scene? Like, that probably costs more than it cost Joseph Quinn the entire Fantastic Four movie. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah, what famous people, I don't know, would play the X-Men? Like, who would play Cyclops right now?
You might be right. It might be the time for the young X-Men, just given the circumstances.
I think we're getting young X-Men no matter what, which I think is smart. Like, they don't have to be, I hope they're not going to be like teenagers or nothing, but people around our age, like early 20s, I go mid-20s.
Yeah.
I don't think we're getting an adult fully fledged. I don't think we're getting an origin, but, like, I think it'll be younger than not people.
Yeah. You bringing up Clayface is interesting because you said you don't think that movie's going to do very well. I do think that movie's going to do very well.
It's also coming out the week after, or the week before Resident Evil.
This is true. We can talk more about this, but I think that this ties into our next takeaway really well, which is vampires, witches, and ghouls are the new superheroes. The reason I say this is because star-driven, mid-budget horror movies and the occasional IP-based horror movie at a mid-budget as well really kind of, is the steadiest boat this summer. We had Weapons, who's doing extremely well financially. Final Destination Bloodlines did it absolutely insane numbers. And Sinners, obviously, at the beginning of the summer in April.
Made a chunk of its money in the summer, yeah.
Yeah.
I totally agree with you. I still think Clayface, I don't see a market for that. Like, I don't, unless,
I think that's
the thing.
Yeah.
You just named like 3 like primo movies, like really good movies a lot of people really liked.
Yes.
You telling me you think a James Watkins, Flanagan rewritten script starring, also, you said mid-budget, who the fuck is playing Clayface? Like,
Tom Reese.
It's cool they're getting an,
yeah, it's an unknown guy.
Yeah, which is like cool, but I don't know. Until I see a frame of, I don't know. I don't see this doing well. I think if it was called something else, maybe, but I think the fact that they're going to be like, the Batman villain, Clayface, it's going to be like, people are going to think of Craven, or like they're going to think of Morbius. I don't know.
I think that movie is not going to look and feel like those other movies. I think that
I agree.
They're making this movie. I mean, James Gunn said it himself. This is basically a Blumhouse horror venture under the DC label, which I think is a really interesting prospect. I'm not going to say the Blumhouse.
You ever seen a Blumhouse movie?
Okay, Get Out was a Blumhouse movie. Once upon a time. Once upon a time. Okay, maybe with Clayface next Get Out. Who knows? We'll see.
I don't know. Other than the Flanagan script, nothing about Clayface has impressed me personally or got me very excited.
Take it from me, or go watch the movie. Honestly, it was pretty solid. Speak No Evil. Pretty good, like genuinely pretty good movie.
I don't know.
I'm excited for it.
I'm saying if it's hard for me to give a shit about Clayface, who went and saw Craven, why would anyone want to go see Clayface? You know what I mean?
Well, it'll have to be the trailers. It'll have to be the actual movie that gets people.
It has to look better than Resident Evil. Which
it is going to have to compete with Resident Evil.
It's competing neck and neck with that movie. Like, people, we just learned in July, people don't want to go to the movies more than once in a quick amount of time.
I mean,
literally, it was Jurassic, Superman, Fantastic Four.
The thing about all of these movies, or at least in the case of Weapons and Sinners, which are, I think, the ones to talk about here because those are the star-driven, non-IP films. Those movies got by exclusively on the premise, almost. I mean, there are stars, and there is, directed by, the guy who directed Creed and Black Panther. Like, that's part of it. the guy who directed Barbarian. That was very much part of the marketing for weapons. Those weapons specifically is sold almost entirely on the premise. It's all over the posters. It's all over the trailers. 17 kids go missing at 2:17 a.m. No one knows why. Perfect hook.
Incredible hook.
Yeah.
I totally agree with you.
And I think that if you come, I mean, I'm not saying that Clayface is going to be weapons and it's going to be a massive cultural event. But I am saying I have faith in James Gunn as a producer. I have faith in James Watkins as a director. I have faith in Mike Flanagan as a writer. I think this movie...
They're rewriting that script.
We'll see. Like, we'll see what happens there. We don't know what's happening with the script. There's rumors about it being rewritten and stuff. That happens a lot with these superhero movies. Who knows? But I think...
When James Gunn... Actually, never mind. Continue.
I think it's going to be good. And I think it's part of this, I think that's why, James Gunn is probably going to be able to have a longer staying power than the Marvel movies here. And I think that these mid-budget horror movies are going to be the most bankable bet in Hollywood for a while.
If they trick people into thinking it takes place in the Robert Pattinson universe, it's going to do pretty fucking good. But I don't know. I don't know. I've been saying this for a while. Like, Superman, Supergirl, Clayface. Where's Batman?
Yeah, I mean, we'll see. You got any predictions for next year? Next summer?
Next summer,
give me one big prediction.
I'll give you one big prediction. Mandalorian and Grogu is going to just like completely tank the Star Wars brand. Like, it's already in the gutter. I think that might be the final nail in the coffin. You? I
agree. I think that Supergirl is going to be much bigger than Superman.
Hard disagree. But I do think it might be better. Something like everything about it. Woman of Tomorrow, phenomenal book there. But I there's no way that's better than Superman.
We'll see. Lock these predictions in. Thank you for sneaking in with us. This is going to be our episode here. We're running out of time. But, yeah. This summer was good. Right, Norman?
Great summer.